Hello, this is Retreat Briefing in Wednesday, February 29th. So today's topic is Ferocious Bitcoin rally. Is it a good news or bad news? So just after when I finished my briefing, Bitcoin started to have a unbelievable rally and reached all the way up to 64k. However, it even had a sudden drop from 64k to all the way down to 59k. So this made many traders money into a piece of paper. So let's have a look at what this skyrocket impacted the market. So to begin with, let's have a look at dominance charts. So you can see this huge plus candle in the Bitcoin dominance yesterday, and it started to fall right now. So today we have a falling Bitcoin dominance. So, and if you look at Ethereum and altcoins dominance, you can see it's rising right now. So the Tether dominance went down again. So this, by looking at this dominance charts, it seems like the people who traded Bitcoin now started to move to Ethereum and other altcoins from now, since Bitcoin rose so much in short term. I think many traders are afraid of the correction that will come soon. So let's have a look at other coins later. So this is our Goya Dominance 1 chart from 6 p.m. in Tuesday to 4 p.m. today. So you can notice that there are stiff mountains such as here and here were made in dominance chart. So when I said just after the briefing it's about 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in South Korea time. So as you can see from here, we had a spike here and starting to have a proper increase at that time, and made a big drop again and started to moving up and down, and now it made a constant increase starting from early morning, and it was 4 p.m. and the dominance is 36 points at that time. So these places which had a huge drop is place where I said the Bitcoin's price dropped all the way down from 64k to 59k. So now the dominance and came back, so the price also came back near 62k to 63k and starting to have a break. So we will look more about in Goya Premium chart later. So this is a liquidation heat map, and can you see this amount? There's so much futures positions were liquidated. So I even put on this. This is my first time doing this, so since it was so much, I was really surprised about it. So with a rally, so Bitcoin liquidated huge amount of short positions, but it also liquidated long positions with those high leverages when it had a sudden $5,000 fall. And you can see that Doji came out here with a big size of rectangle. So Dogecoin also had a skyrocketing graph today, so it also liquidated a lot of short positions. But you can see that without those major coins, the altcoins seems all green. So altcoins hadn't dropped, so they made a lot of long positions liquidated. So with the combination of dominance chart and this liquidation chart, you can notice that people are taking the money out from Bitcoin and started to move to altcoins. So this is a 4 hours liquidation heat map in 4 p.m. So I told you that Dogecoin had a rise all the way to the moon, so they are now increasing back again. So, and it seems like altcoins are starting to increase also. So I brought an article which shows why there were so many liquidations made today. So this roller coaster like Bitcoin price turned high leverage traders into so-called a bloodbath. So since breaking through 60K is first time since November in 2021. So it has been over 2 years. And you can notice that this chart is 1 minute based. So can you see this long downward candlestick? So this sudden fall just happened during in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So people who originally had Bitcoin would have been a happy day, but who are trying to get in the market about these places might have felt very dangerous feelings. So yeah, and this is a market cap ranking, and Bitcoin was at this place just under the Facebook, but Bitcoin eventually surpassed the Meta, which was Facebook before. So now it's heading to catch even this silver, which has been used a long time in our history. So BlackRock's CEO mentioned that the Bitcoin is a global digital asset that will replace the gold. So it's about 10 times more right now, but Bitcoin is representing the future asset. So I think there will be definitely a possibility for Bitcoin to even surpass gold. And this is a liquidation heat map for Bitcoin. So this place, so there are almost no short positions all over here, since they were all already liquidated from these places. So after this burning bull market, and now it's taking a breath. So this would be a most difficult part to traders to expect what will happen later. But since Retreat members are using our Goya Premium chart, so I think it is time to focus on signals rather than the informations that your friends or your parents saying. So there are long positions gathering all the way down here. So who knows if there would be a correction all the way down to here in order to liquidate them. So nothing is sure. And this is a liquidation heat map for Ethereum. And you can see this place here. It's a similar place where Bitcoin had a sudden fall. So Ethereum also had a significant fall all the way down here. So these positions were liquidated a lot. So now they are recovering, so rising back all the way up to 3.5K. But as you can see, there are a lot of short positions over 3.5K. But there will be a resist line somewhere near here. So we have to watch whether it will break through that resist line or just block and go down back again. But I personally think that there is a power for Ethereum to break through this part. So if you break through this resist line, I don't know where Ether would go all the way up. So, and this is an RSI heat map, and plenty of cryptos were at the middle yesterday, and they all moved up to this strong and overbought area. So there are a lot of coins even over 80 points. So this shows that we had a really crazy night, a crazy day, starting from yesterday. So don't forget about the correction. So if the price rises this much, there would definitely be some kind of correction, even if it's small. So I hope you guys to watch out while trading. So let's move on to our Goya Premium chart and have a look around those rallies coins. So starting from the Bitcoin, but you can see that score chart went all the way down to the under 60k. So the score chart shows about the possibility for Bitcoin to drop all the way down to here. So I don't know when will this reach, but the points at the score chart will eventually make the real price reach here. So keep an eye on it when the correction will happen. So starting from yesterday here, these places, I told you that it was 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. So near this place, we had a big jump. We started a big jump. So there was an L signal here, and with an LB signal over the Goya line, it went up, and with an SB had a stop for a while. This is hour based chart, so 3 or 4 hours they had on rest. But again, LB, SB, LB, SB, it's quite annoying, isn't it? So we're gonna use this duplicate in order to delete those things. So we had an L signals all the way here, and at this point had the end of this tail is about 64k, which I mentioned, and it went all the way down to 59k. So this place is a lot of long traders were suddenly liquidated due to the high leverage. So I think the amount of liquidation in the futures market, it's all because of the high leverage. So I always recommend retreat members to use a low leverage if you are doing a futures trade. So let's have a look right now. So we have an L signal again and LB signal up here. So this over this Goya line, it's better to believe L signals more than SB signal, since the Goya line works as a support line. So it is moving near here, 62 to 63k. So I suggest you to wait until this candlestick comes plus minus 1% near to the Goya line. So this, I'll show you how to calculate. So we have a calculator. So now the price in the Goya line is 61158.2. So if you times 1%, whoops, oh, my misclicked 1%. 61158.2 times 1%. So this is, whoops, this is right, sorry. So, oh, this is 10%. What am I doing right now? This will be 1%, isn't it? Sorry for the miscalculating. So if the price in right now standard, so if you look at this chart right now, so if the candlestick comes all the way down to the 61769, this price, I suggest you to do something in that time. So keep in mind that trading near the Goya line would be highly winnable. So let's have a look at support and resistance line. So this place, which made a big decrease yesterday's highest point, acting as a resist line. So if this line breaks, the Bitcoin will go all the way up to 70K. Who knows? I think it will possibly increase for more. And there are buy lines all the way down to the 58K. So I think relying on the support line is quite difficult in this kind of bull market. So if the correction comes and if candlestick goes down through the Goya line, then this support line, this buy one, will act correctly. So if you want to do a spot trade, I suggest you to wait for the correction. And if you are doing a futures trade, if the candlestick goes all the way up and meets this resist line, watch for the possibility to break or not, and then have a decision. That would be a good idea, I think. So let's have a look at Ethereum. Oh, the dominance kept increase. Market seems quite bullish. I think the altcoins are showing a good moves. So this place, just similar with the Bitcoin, had a huge increase but huge decrease. So the price all the way up here is 3.5K. So this place works as a resist line, and we have an L signal and L1 signal here came together. So I told you that over the Goya line, believing more with L signals is how to win. So I don't mean that just ignore every S signal, but L signal has more possibility to correct, you know what I mean. So if you press this line, I told you this line act as a resist line, which is touching right now. It's 3489. So it's almost there. So this place is a point where we have to decide if it breaks through this resist line. Ethereum have a power to go up more. So if it breaks through here, Ethereum will have a keep increase. But if it failed to break through this part and comes all the way down, I suggest you to trade near the Goya line always. So I think waiting for this support line will take too long. I think it's somewhere near 3.1K. So this buying near the Goya line or this line, you can see there's a big jump made over here. So these lines could be your support line. So keep an eye on when you trade. We're gonna have a look at Ripple. Ripple didn't made an increase. So it started in the morning. Ripple was showing also a bad move. So these candlesticks were broken with this long minus candlestick and started to move under the Goya line. So I told you that relying L signals above Goya line and S signals more under the Goya line is better. So we had an LB signal. So it started to do something here and it was moving near the Goya line, but the RSI signal changed into L and we got bunch of L signals over the Goya line. So now it's moving in above the Goya line. So we'll have to see whether it meets the Goya line again and supported by the Goya line. So if it's supported by the Goya line, so this line just before 0.6 about there will be a first resistant line. So if it's supported by the Goya line, the Ripple will try to break through this point. So if it breaks through, then it will increase more, but if it cannot, it will drop. So can you notice that the sell 1 to 6 points same line. So in 1 hour, a 1 month base, the information that Retreat gathered shows that this point is the highest resist point. So if this sell 1 to 6 points one line, and if that line breaks, it will possibly have a big rise. So keep that in mind. So if you guys want to trade Ripple, I always suggest you to move around 1% near the Goya line. And these buy lines, I told you, this is today's lowest point. So I think it's really difficult to drop all the way down to here. So I suggest you to move around these places, which I mentioned just before. Same, how do I say, logic. So we have an 2M-shaped chart right here. So these places might act as a first support line for this candlestick. But if it breaks down these places, since it moved in sideways for a long time before here, so these places act as a second support line. So keep that in mind. And finally Dogecoin, which I wanted to mention all time during this presentation. Can you believe this? It's unbelievable. This morning when I went to company to work, I saw this graph and I couldn't focus on working since the Dogecoin was just floating around in front of my eyes. So Doji had a big jump here with an L signal and LBSB. So there are no significant L candle signal, so like L2 or L3. So we don't know when will this end, but this point is today's highest point. And just I mentioned, sell 1 to 6 is all at 1 point. So if it increase and break through this part, the Doji will increase far more. But if it cannot and drops all the way down, think this line as these lines somewhere near here. So would be your nice place for, think of support line. And if it drops more, then this buy one will act as a proper support line. So always watch out. I showed you the liquidation amount for 24 hours. It's $800 million. Those are from the high leverage traders. So please don't forget to use a low leverage and have a safe trade for today. Thank you.